Hello everybody, it's your boy KirbyDK10 here, coming at you with another episode of the Overkill Podcast. We are on episode 73. I'm here with my co-host Meta Knight.
What is up? It's me, baby.
And I think today's episode is gonna be pretty short and sweet one. I guess we'll just hop right into it. For the most part, I know a lot of our topics are going to be about the Nintendo Switch 2, but I just kind of wanted to start us off with, do we think it's worth it to get it right now, the Switch 2, or to wait for a bit for more games to come out? Because right now, as far as the games are concerned, you have a couple third-party games such as like Street Fighter 6, Cyberpunk, Hogwarts Legacies, and then you have, of course, Mario Kart World. But in terms of other Switch games, it's mainly just Switch 1 games plus, Nintendo Switch 2 editions of those games. And then you have a couple third parties that are on other consoles. And so, do you think it's worth buying? I personally would say wait. I think for most people, I think it's a wait until either Donkey Kong comes out or this new Hyrule Age of Imprisonment comes out, or Kirby Air Rider.
Yeah, the game selection is kind of the game selection is kind of piss poor right now. I'm gonna keep it real. If you own a Switch, I mean, you own almost every game that the Switch 2 has at this point. Like, not to be that negative on it, but I think it's definitely you can wait and pick one up next year. You can wait until you have money for it, like expendable money for it, like I'm gonna do. I just don't think it's like a need to buy now console to keep it 100% with you. So yeah, that's I fully agree. I mean, and Donkey Kong needs to come out. I think for it to be worth it for me, I think Donkey Kong needs to come out, and then if Air Ride comes out fairly quickly, then I'll be a happy guy. But for now, I'm kind of not impressed, to keep it 100%.
Yeah. To me, this console, it feels very much, and I like to liken it to the new 3DS, where you had the old 3DS, and well, you had the regular 3DS and 2DS and stuff that could play 3DS games, but then you had the new 3DS that could play games that were a little more intense on the CPU and such, and so because of that, some games were exclusive to the new 3DS, but there were still a lot of games that came out on the regular one, and I'm not sure if I think there are some regular Switch games coming out still.
Yeah.
For instance, Deltarune is still on Switch 1. You have Shadow Labyrinth and Tamagotchi Pizza and Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. I don't know any of these games, but a lot of these games that are on Switch 2 are available on Switch 1. So I don't know if it's really worth getting the new console straight away.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know. I know you're most excited for Donkey Kong. I think my focus has sort of switched to Metroid 4.
Metroid
Prime 4. I'm genuinely excited because I never played a Metroid game, and I've always wanted to get into the series, but I just never found never found time to really sit down and play a Metroid game. Also, it just seems like a game series I don't know if I would like. So
Yeah. It's it's definitely an interesting one. Uh, yeah, I can get that, and then not to mention, I mean, here from Polygon, I take this with a grain of salt because it's Polygon. They did a little article, and I really don't care what like too much what they had to say, but you can see there's been a increase in searches for Joy-Con drift, especially as compared to PS5 and Xbox. It's still not as high as PS5 drift. I guess PS5 has a lot of drifting issues that I don't know about. But I just thought that was interesting. Searches have gone up for that. And there have been a few alleged reports of the Switch 2 having Joy-Con drift again. And for those of you that don't know what that is where one of the sticks usually gets dust or some sort of debris in there, and it kind of leads to it being a little off-kilter, and it will turn right, left, up, down any way that it wants while playing a game, and it's really, really annoying.
Yeah, they. I know Nintendo responded. They did get sued during the Switch 1 times, and they did respond by creating a program in the U.S. where you could send in your Joy-Cons to get a free repair for this issue, and it seems like they haven't really learned their lesson with the Switch 2, and
No.
they just, if you look at the design, it's literally the exact same style of stick, where if any sort of dirt or if any sort of debris or dirt gets in there, it's gonna drift, or if the stick itself comes in contact with the metal plate that it senses, that it uses to sense the motion with, if it scrapes a little bit of that, wherever it scrapes will not be able to be detected sometimes, or it'll detect whenever the stick is not there. So again, it's a horrible design. I don't know why they decided to stick with the same sticks. I know one reason is in traditional controllers, it actually uses magnets to sense how far the stick is away from the magnet. And because the Joy-Cons attach via magnets, you can't have them close. You can't have, because then it's going to accidentally sense, it's going to sense the magnet that's attaching the controller to the Switch. So there is that. But I don't know. I feel like they should have really thought more maybe about the design of how, and maybe not use magnets either. But I know some people are hoping for an OLED model already that's going to fix this issue, but at this point, I think Nintendo's just going to keep pumping out Joy-Cons that have this issue.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's ever stopping. What is the story with? So I know a lot of people with the Switch 1. If y'all remember, you had to take one of the Joy-Cons off, and then you had to slide like this black bar on there to like use right bumper and left bumper. And no one really played the Switch like that, I don't think, except for maybe like children in school. But I swear it's probably one of the worst ways to ever control anything. But I think most people at some point got tired of sliding that piece on, and they would just literally just like use R and B, like the actual like tiny buttons on the back. And so it seems like this time around they have just gotten rid of any of that, and they've integrated into the magnet portion where it's like these two shitty buttons. But maybe they push down pretty easily. How's been your experience with those? Because I'm really curious. Do they go down easy? Are they easy to reach? Like, I don't even know if you've played with it at all, just to test.
Oh, I haven't played with it at all. I prefer to use both Joy-Cons if possible, or honestly just use the Pro controller. And from what I can tell, they actually are like big buttons. They're SL and SR. On the sides of the Joy-Con where it connects. They actually do feel pretty nice. I haven't played with them, but yeah, the only attachable thing that you can attach on a Joy-Con now is the like mouse, the attachment that makes it so it like slides easier on the side.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's the only like attachable thing. So if you're not using it in mouse mode, there's kind of no point.
I've ever seen the mouse attachable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know we've been yapping a lot about the Switch too, but it is the hot thing right now. I guess. Yeah. I guess we'll see. The Switch controllers as a mouse, it's kind of unholy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I have tried it. It's very uncomfortable.
It looks like one
I've
of
only
the worst
tried it
things.
I've only tried it within the menu because I haven't found a game to like use the mouse with. I don't know if like Splatoon allows you to use it that way to like control the aiming or whatnot. But I know I think Cyberpunk allows you to do it.
Oh, that's the
they also
mouse
allow
attachment. I see.
Yeah, they also Cyberpunk they allow you to do like a motion control thing where like you tilt the Joy-Con to the side to like reload, and you hold it up to like I think brace yourself or something. I don't know.
I mean, I'm down to try it
but...
because so I assume like in a shooter you use the right one as a mouse, right? Or I guess you could use either one as a mouse, but use the right one as a mouse and the left one as like the move stick. Or am I crazy for that?
You can use either or, which is nice for the left-handed people who
even though they're wrong.
Yeah, they can use the left-handed yeah, they can use the blue Joy-Con as their mouse. It is interesting. I don't know why they should have made like a and I'm sure there might be something coming in the future, but they should have made like a mouse thing that you can put the Joy-Con in, like a mold or something. Because holding the Joy-Con on the side is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that looks horrendous. Yeah, I'll probably try it, but I don't know why you would ever do that to yourself. It seems like people have already started making mouse adapters that actually turn them into more of a literal mouse, so it's like actually mouse shaped, and it has like a bumper for you to hold on to and everything, which is interesting. I'm always down for weird little gadgets and gizmos that people make. Yeah, I don't know. That's very clever.
Nice.
I think they're seeing the market is very PC oriented now, so maybe it was a move for all of the PC bros to, maybe if you're really, really against the controller, I guess you can mouse it up now. Plus, we have a friend that is obsessed with the idea of using a keyboard in one hand and the like a mouse or a control stick in one hand to move and a mouse in the other hand to aim. So this is his wet dream. All right.
Ironically, though, he's like very anti-Switch, though. Like Switch 2.
Yeah. It's a little interesting because it's kind of like you can't. He's really conflicted. And I think he's kind of a rich guy, so I'm sure he'll just buy one at some point and just say fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess
we can get into we'll get into another very exciting announcement, I'm sure, for some people. Treyarch and Raven Studios revealed Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I believe they revealed this in at the Xbox game show. Yeah, game showcase. And it'll have a co-op campaign. That's the biggest feature, and of course you play as David Mason, or that's one of the playable characters. I'm not sure if there's more. This gives pretty good credibility to a leak that came out in April that said that the new Black Ops 7 will have a 32-player mode in multiplayer. And other than that,
Okay.
there's gonna be a futuristic Japan themed multiplayer map. That's all we know, and the zombies map is gonna be the largest to date, which they had that Warzone zombies map. So I'm assuming it's just gonna be another.
Oh man, did people like that mode?
Warzone.
Come on, no way, people like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know. I that's the only thing. If it's gonna be bigger, if it says the biggest zombies map, it would have to be, right?
Yeah, it would have to be that shit mode again.
Unless they mean round based zombies map. In which case it could be something that's decent, but I'm not getting my hopes up anymore.
Wow. This looks like slop.
There's no point to get. Yeah.
Just my 2 cents, but yeah.
I mean, the trailer's cool and whatnot. It's kind of hard to tell that it's a Call of Duty. It's really hard to tell that it's a Call of Duty game. I saw XQC react to it, and he was like, "Wow, man, this game looks so cool." And he didn't get the fact that like the I think it's the lady in the trailer says like, "How are you doing, David?" And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, "Okay, this is Call of Duty." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're a COD fan, you knew, okay, wait, this is COD. But he didn't pick up on that, and then it was like Black Ops 7, and he's like, oh, dude, I'm not gonna get it, dude. Chat. All right. But I mean, you know, it's a futuristic COD game. I'm kind of interested in another future one. I know I like the futuristic stuff. I think it kind of makes sense to have like the wacky cosmetics in a game that's in the future, because it's not like set in a specific time zone, you know, or like time or whatever you want to call it, era. So I like the futuristic ones because they always I like how wacky the cosmetics can get, but yeah, it's just slop, you know. I know I'm probably gonna get the $1 Xbox Game Pass just to try it out at least.
Based, yeah. I might join you in that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just looks like slop, but what COD doesn't look like slop at this point? And I don't know. You know.
Based.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Looks like sloppo. Oof. I said, wow, he's right. I'm always right, bitch. Always right. Yeah. Alright. Whoa, the ad started playing on that Call of Duty shit. Okay. Here's something interesting. Next season, we kind of were on our shooter tangent, so let's continue it. Next season, they are making a change to Bastion. You might say, oh no, not another Bastion nerf. He's too sexy. He's too adorable, okay? He is a pet bird, you might say. Or you might say he was better when he had a shield, like me. They are going to make his character model 10% smaller. It is believed that the Overwatch team believes that his character model is so large and he's so easy to get headshots on, and especially on the weapons that are not hit scan. He's way easier to hit. The team has been testing this out because they feel like Bastion has been weak, and they think that changing his hitbox and making him smaller will help. Now, I don't know if I've ever seen a change like this in a game that wasn't like just cosmetic, but this one appears to be the literal hitbox and everything involved. Now, they're trying to say, PC Gamer is trying to say, the Overwatch team was saying how difficult this is, and I'm not a programmer or whatever, but to me, I don't see how it could be that difficult to just reduce his size and reduce his hitboxes by 10%, but maybe it's more than that.
Yeah, I mean, visually he does look smaller, so like, I'm sure on the visual aspect it wouldn't be that hard because you would just have to take his model and basically just shrink everything by 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe you would have to move around some stuff here and there, but hitbox wise, I wouldn't imagine it would be that hard either. Because again, you would do the exact same thing. You just make sure to map onto his body now correctly. And to be fair, hitboxes in shooter games and even Overwatch, I feel like are kind of wonky. Sometimes you'll shoot like next to the character's head and you'll still get a hit, and I don't know. This is definitely an odd change. To me, I've always felt like I feel like Bastion's actually been pretty good in Overwatch. Maybe they've shown some data that says that he's not doing as well. Maybe in top tier play he's really not great. Which I'm sure is the case because we don't play we don't play in the most highly competitive lobbies, but I feel like for the average player, I feel like he was pretty average. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty mid. I guess it's very unique. I mean, I've always felt like he's in a good place, but I guess they don't. He's fairly unique too. I don't have the data on this because I haven't paid attention in a long time, but I do believe that at high levels, he is not great, and then towards lower skill groups, he becomes a lot better. And so I think that might be something they're trying to look into, is maybe making him better for higher levels, and maybe there'll be some other adjustments besides just his size. I just think it's a really clever idea. If it's stupid or not, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh. Well, I shall
move on.
Move on, gamers. Sony says that it isn't worried about what?
They said making him 15% smaller made him too cute. That's funny. All right, go on.
Okay. Sony says that it isn't worried about the Switch 2, brother. And
they're not worried about it, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's because they say it's because of the PS5's differentiated strategy, and they're not too worried about it.
Okay.
And they also said the PS5's level of performance required to create a game experience on big screens. That's one of the big reasons why they think they're more confident in the PlayStation. They also they also say it's the best place of play, which is a big cope because we all know PC is the best way to play. But
of course. Yep.
Like even you can hook up your PC to a big screen. You can if you want to hook up your PC to a big screen. Yeah, and you can plug in a controller to a PC and now you have a console.
Hell, you can wirelessly connect a controller to your PC.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
But I understand what they're saying. Like for the average person who isn't into gaming and just wants to get into gaming, and they want to have the most powerful piece of equipment for the cheapest possible dollar, I think the PS5 or an Xbox will suffice. And if you don't mind taking on the go. Now the thing is with Nintendo is they've built up a lot of exclusives and they've held those exclusives. PlayStation has been faltering recently, especially with God of War and a couple of their other games where they've come out on PC. So now you can play them pretty much anywhere. So I think this statement is just a big cope, to be honest, from Sony. And I think, Nintendo's cornered the market in terms of like cutesy and like family experiences. So I think we'll see Nintendo still beat PlayStation in terms of overall sales of consoles, and also Nintendo makes way more gross profit from everything they sell, because normally they don't sell normally they sell at a huger they sell higher than it makes to make the product, right? Plus games now on Switch are $80, so they're getting an extra $10 from every game. So yeah. Also, they've already sold 3.5 million units, which it took, which is the fastest selling system ever in Nintendo history. And if you look at it, the PS5 took almost a month to sell the same amount of units in its first month, obviously. So I think we're going to see the Switch 2 dominate the PlayStation 5, even though the PS5 has been out for 5 years. So
yeah,
it also helps that it's $50 cheaper. So
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, I don't know, with all the upgrades to the Switch, I think it's silly to be making claims like this, because people for years wanted the Switch to compete. It wasn't good enough, and now they're good enough. And now PlayStation is coming out and making some hot statements. I think because they're scared.
Yeah. Also, I do kind of want to talk about this. Oh, I'm sorry. You go.
Sony also, their exclusives are really, really like adult oriented, and I hate to burst their bubble and stuff like this, but having adult oriented games, I think was kind of the meta in like 2010 with like Halo, or COD, or just games like that. But a lot of their games now that are exclusive are rated M, always rated teen, and I actually do think that is a mistake to try to enter the market that way. I think the true meta is to appeal to children, and it always has been, because a game made for children can also appeal to adults. And then, a lot of gamers, there are a lot of gamers now that are older, and to be honest, a lot of these older gamers have kids, so kind of like you were talking about. I really do think like that is the forward thinking market, is to go for more family friendly games. I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the thing too is like Nintendo games are for everyone, and so like even I know there are a lot of like 50-year-olds who only have played Nintendo, and they've stuck with Nintendo because of they've built up a lot of brand loyalty, and a lot of goodwill. Sure, they do some stupid stuff, but that's the thing about Nintendo. I also wanted to say this. I have gotten to try their music app because I paid for the $50 extra Switch Online for the Switch 2, and the music app is not half bad. The only thing I would say is it needs a little bit more old school music. It has the only Animal Crossing game that it has is the New Horizons, which I was sad because I wanted to listen to the original GameCube one. They have a lot of their like newer games on there, and then they have more of like the classic like Ocarina of Time, and I think like Mario Sunshine. They have like the bigger games that were on their older consoles, but they don't have like all of the older games. Mm-hmm. And of course you have like Donkey Kong Country, which is cool, but like I don't want to listen to like NES music and SNES music. To me, it's a little too old. But other than that, I mean, the app itself is pretty decent. And then the other thing is, with the online subscription, you do get access to the GameCube emulator, basically.
Yes.
And I've been swinging out because the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is one of the games that's on it, and I'm sure they're gonna bring more games, come next month or next couple months. But I don't know. I like Wind Waker, so it's a good game and it doesn't drain the battery, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. I really am excited. I know a lot of people are shitting and pissing and crying or whatever, but I don't know. I think Nintendo has it going on again. I think they know what they got and they're gonna run with it. So, and honestly, I'm shocked that the consoles have not embraced being a. I'm surprised they haven't embraced just becoming PCs. I mean, the last Xbox was basically a PC. The Xbox X, the trash can, the mini fridge, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it was essentially a PC. And honestly, all the ports on it were in really convenient spots for it to kind of be set up like one. I truly think if they had added like an operating system on it and just turned it into what it is, then I think people would have bought it as a PC. I think they should do that too. I actually think they should do that with Xboxes. I think they should just give in and start adding Windows to them and just sell them as like a computer console hybrid. But maybe I'm, I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Probably.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what the original Xbox was. It had a hard drive. It was basically a PC with the console OS, and Xbox has kind of always. I think it's always been more closer to PC. To me, like the Switch and the PlayStation would probably be the last. I think Nintendo would be the last one to like embrace any sort of PC stuff.
Yeah, there would be for sure. I mean, I don't know. You say that, but they added a mouse function to the controller.
Well, I don't know. I think that was much. I think it's much more of like a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like I don't think like they legitimately were like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a PC, because they didn't include a web browser.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of a step in the direction of like, Nintendo knows full well they'll never compete like on the PC market. I think Xbox could if they added Windows, because, it's basically just a cheap PC. The issue is that they would undercut their other PCs that they always try to sell. So, yeah.
Yeah, too.
They'll never do that, but I think that would be the play. Well, we got one more. So the story I linked to this one actually has no connection. I guess there is a crossover with Revenant, a Revenant class in Night Rain. They seem to really like this like necromancer character they're adding into Night Rain and all this, but that's not really my point. My question was, I guess in Night Rain, if you don't know, Night Rain is the multiplayer DLC for Elden Ring that we've discussed before. I guess in Night Rain there is not any sort of like invasion system. Now I don't know how you feel, but to me, I do like in Dark Souls 1 how you can turn on invasions and get more rewards for beating the game with the invasion feature on. And I always think that's the way to do it. I know invasions being forced on, like it has in the past, was very unpopular with some people. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you think it would be interesting if you're in a multiplayer environment with, like, let's just say you and me, and then someone invades and we kill them? Is that an interesting mechanic or not? And do you think anyone cares that it's gone?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a big fan of the Dark Souls series, but I do think it would be kind of annoying to like be basically forced into PvP. Um, to me, like I don't know exactly how PvP works in Dark Souls, but I would assume it's basically just you. It's like I would assume it's just you versus. It depends on, of course, how strong the other person is too. I don't know if their like power level carries over, but I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem fun. Now, is this game co-op? Can you play co-op or no?
Night Rain is, yes, but not.
Oh, okay.
Technically, all of Elden Ring is co-op, but it's more like you join in at each of like the boss altars or whatever. From what I understand, I think you can go around the open world a little bit, but like it's really you spawn in at the boss altars to get help. And that's kind of their version of multiplayer. From what I understand, the difference with this DLC is that you're always with your co-op partner. But maybe I'm crazy on that.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. As a feature, So, but why are they going crazy specifically for this character? It's just because it's a different class.
I think it's just because it's a different class and people have been waiting for a different class. I think it's because she's easy to draw as like a little cute character with giant weapons. It is. I mean, I will admit it is kind of funny. There is the internet is always fascinated by tiny creatures holding giant weapons. So I don't know. It just seems like a cult classic. I haven't seen too many of these posts. As you can see, they're mostly linked on Blue Sky, which is about on point for Polygon, Blue Sky, and Reddit. So, yeah, you wouldn't want to tilt any of your viewers by sending them to Twitter. Yeah. Yep.
This person who really likes this character has 2 transgender flags in her bio. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know if this character is LGBT TV, but but yeah, I mean, I think it's like a cool design. It's obviously like female, so like I think I think that could be why people are playing her. Really enjoying her.
For sure.
Honestly though, she's like dressed very modestly, so it's based. But
it is pretty based. I'm not gonna lie, pretty based.
And I like this one picture where it's like she's cutesy, and then she just has a gigantic sword. Yeah, looks very cute.
She is cutesy, has a huge sword.
Has Nightrun been doing better on in terms of like the reviews, or how is this? Let me check on Steam real quick.
I'm getting
okay. Now it's getting mostly positive. See, whenever it first came out, it was getting like pretty mixed reviews, so I was kind of concerned. I don't know if it had like some performance issues, maybe, and maybe they fixed that.
Yeah, I think it had some of that. I think. To be honest, I don't know why people hated it. It always looked really cool to me. I think it was just it had some issues, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's too hard for some of them.
Maybe it says it crashes frequently, frequently disconnects, unable to connect to game server. It seems like a lot of connection issues, maybe, and just like an overall rocky launch, which is fair. Most games, they kind of set up the servers for a certain amount of people, and then the game kind of blows up. To be fair, though, I mean, it's Elden Ring, so I feel like they, after the first one, they should have realized, like, yeah, this game is probably going to be very popular.
Yeah. Well, and so from what I understand, so I guess this isn't exclusively just a like multiplayer DLC, but it appears to add. It says it reimagines the core game. So what it seems to do is it seems to add a lot of different magic and spells and stuff, which is pretty cool. Oh, here it is. Join voices with other characters. 3-player co-op. So I'm pretty sure the game used to only be 2-player, and I think it's 3 now. So there you go. And then, yeah, I guess they've reimagined some bosses and some fights or something. The whole theme is like, from what I understand, it's like liches and stuff rising up, and so, some of the bosses re-rise and come back. So yeah, that's what it is. It looks really cool. I think we've yapped about it a lot on the podcast. It's just been something I've been staring at from afar as they fix their shit. But their views are all now mostly positive, whenever they used to be mixed before. So they must have fixed it. This game isn't a Souls 1 Trinity. It's a Storm. Yada yada. Yeah, so here's a guy that really, really loves it. And he says it's still difficult. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's been about it for the pod, boys.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It's been your boy, Kirby DK10. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.